Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm gonna tell you a story of how I became a blood while I was in LA, Los Angeles County Jail, which was a crazy story, right? Okay, I'm going to tell you first how I got to be locked up in the jail, right? They had this art dealer over here in Los Angeles, California. He was Nigerian, right? And he was a business partner of mine. Basically, I was helping him to do the internet marketing side of the business, right? So we fell apart. And one day, I was walking by his store to go to a graphic logo shop where I was going to design a logo for my company, clutchbylondon.com. So as I passed his store, in front of his store, right, he had a bunch of African artifacts. Like he had a big antique chair, royal antique red chair, you know, like the type that kings in Africa sit on. And also he had a bunch of other artifacts all throughout in front of the store. This is actually on a public sidewalk, right? In front of public sidewalk. So if you pass in on the sidewalk, you have to pass through all these products in front of his store. And you know, you had like a bunch of like masks, African masks, some black magic stuff all around in the front. And me being a Christian, when I passed by, he was sitting outside his store. And I was like, when I become the mayor, right, I'm going to ban you from you having all this product in front of your store. And then I went on my way to the graphic store. That was all I said, and I just went. Upon me returning back from the graphic store, in the alley, we was about to get into my car or whatever like that. He approaches me. He tries to hold on to me or swing or fight me or whatever. I pushed him away. The push sent him flying, and yeah, then he went back into his store, and then they went back and he got an axe. Sorry, when I got a spear, an African spear, a long African spear. And then he takes this African spear and he's chasing me. Trying to kill me with the spear, right? And I was running backwards like this, really fast. And while he was chasing me so fast with so much energy, he falls on the ground. Bang! Hits his face. You can tell it was hot. He got up, he looked all hot and bruised. And okay, the big royal chair that was in front of the store, I end up, you know, during the commotion, pushing it down, and it broke. And I took one of the leg of the big chair to defend myself against him, right? And then he ran inside of the store and he calls the police, right? And me, at that time, knowing that, yeah, I think I had some warrants or something. So now I run, right? From a distance, I can see him talking to the police, right? You know, getting my information. And then that was it. And then a few months later, like 3 months later, while I was in the morning, yeah, I went for my run, went to the Jamaican place where I normally buy my weed. Don't tell nobody though. So now I buy my weed. Now I'm chilling right in the spot, smoking my joint on the computer, working on my business, on my website, you know, uploading products. doing some designing, being creative. This guy's calling me now. Being creative, right? Being creative and stuff, all that good stuff, right? And I see him, he passes me by, right? In his truck, right? I see him, come on, fuck. Can take your corner. So now I see him pass by in his truck, right? And he spots me, right? And I didn't think of anything of it, right? And then, yeah, a few minutes later, I see two officers pull up an LAPD car in the parking lot. And then they asked me, they pulled over in the parking lot. I was with one of the Jamaican guys, and then they told they said my description of the clothes that I was wearing or whatever. The officer shouted, "You blah blah blah," in this. Step back with your hands behind your back. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the officer was like, yes, there's a warrant for your arrest for vandalism, right? Felony vandalism. That the royal chair that was broken during the commotion was worth, I think he said it was 5,000 or 5 to 10,000, something like that. It was really expensive. And yeah, so now they take me in the back of he was there. He pointed me that I'm the one to them, right? And I was saying like, Ubi, don't do this to me. I'm your brother. Because he's of Nigerian origin too. But he's just a hater, you know. He's a big time hater. Obi's a really bad man. He's not a good man. He's a very evil man. Okay. Now they took me in, right? Now I'm in LA County jail, right? And yeah, this was during the Corona time and stuff like that. But eventually it was the DA rejected. The DA didn't even take the case. It was rejected, right? Because he was chasing me with a spear. You know, I should have called the police for him at that moment. You know, that he threatened my life with a spear and stuff, but I didn't. I was compassionate towards him because he was Nigerian, but he didn't show me the same love, right? So what ended up happening was, okay, while I was in LA County jail, right, they transferred me to Wayside, right? Now I'm in Wayside jail. And in that Wayside jail, I was in Supermax, which was a notorious section of the jail, right? And this is where all the hardened and the most vicious criminals and gangsters you can fucking imagine, they house them in. And on this section where I was, it was dominated, you know, by the blood gang, right? They were the ones in that dump. It was their dump, right? And this was Perus from Compton, right? So now I'm in dump, you know. Immediately as the gate opened or whatever for me to come in, a big black guy called Bear, which is a really nice guy. Me and him, you know, we end up becoming real good friends, right? While I was in there, right? So now that, you know, protocols, they asked me, where am I from or whatever. So, oh yeah, I'm from London. You know, they want to know, you know, why you in here for, stuff like that. So I let them know that I'm in here for because somebody said I had a criminal vandalism charge or whatever like that. So yeah, stay, you know, after maybe like a week or something like that, you know, one of them, one of them who was like second in command to Bear, right? Yeah, this guy was stocky, short, you know, light skin, about the same size as me and everything. But you know, actually he's in there for murder. He's never gonna come out again, right? So now he tells me that I'm gonna be tied up. And then I say, no, hell no, I'm never gonna be tied up. Okay. So now they had like fucking about 6 to 8, you know, young guys like from 18 to 28 or whatever like that. You know, this was all bloods, right? So one day they all cornered me in the bunk, right? They were trying to hold me, trying to grab me so that they can tie me up. This was as initiation, right? And yeah, so those boys try to hold me and tie me up and stuff like that, and they couldn't tie me up, right? And I got away, and that guy got mad with them. The second in command, the short light skin one, he said, oh man, he made all your niggas look weak, man. You niggas couldn't hold him down to tie him down, blah blah blah. And then he promised me, he says, yeah, you are going to be tied down. That's what he told me. I'm like, why do you want to tie me down for? I remember I was going to, you know, to go wash one in the shower. Before I get in there, he looked at me, you know, while I was trying to get ready and stuff. He says, you are going to be tied down. And he said in a calm, reassured way that he's very sure that it's like a challenge for them to tie me down, right? So yeah, so I got out of the, you know what, after I got out of the shower, wash, and I got out, immediately as I saw, he rushed me, right? He rushed me, he had no shirt on. He rushed me, charged into me, right? And banged me on, like on the wall, right? My head hit the back of the wall like this, and then I in turn put him on the headlock, right? I put him on the headlock, use martial art move, like put him down on the ground, right? While he was down on the ground, me and him was struggling. He was telling the other ones, grab his leg, right? So now they had like what do you call it? Now the heavy guys, I mean the real hardcore guys, not the real ones, like the real tough guys in the dome, right? Now those guys, they came, they try to fucking, they come, and those ones, one is holding my leg, the other's holding my other leg, my neck. I'm getting punched from on the ribs, all over my body, except for my face, right? But some real solid body shots, right? But it wasn't like, I don't think it wasn't like they were trying to inflict ultimate evil. It was more like aspiring, initiation and all that, to test my strength, to test my aggression and all that stuff, right? So yeah, they were giving it to me like pa pa, all through body shots, right? This is all to break me down so that I can be tied. And one of the other homies, he said, stop resisting. I was like, one of the bloods, right? He's like, stop resisting. Now this is a cool guy. Me and him was really good friends, right? In other words, it's telling me, stop resisting. Ain't nothing, man, for you to be tight, instead of you to be going through all this fighting and all these punches and all this stuff. Because keep in mind, I'll be honest with you, for like 2 weeks, right, my whole ribs, it was hurting so much all throughout, because they would give me like kidney shot. They would all the points that they know that can weaken somebody down, to break them down or whatever like that. And we're talking about guys who are real solid, muscle, powerful guys, right? But keep in mind, I'm very strong myself, you know. I'm a mixed martial artist, so I'm a very powerful man myself, so I can take it. I can take a lot of stuff like that. But due to the other guy, the other homie telling me, oh, stop resisting, and I'm like, okay. And then I just calmed down. so that I can let them tie me up. I calmed down to let them, okay? They did not. I allowed them to. There's a difference between them making me. There's a difference between them tying me up and me allowing them to. Number one, I'm like, why do you want to tie me up? Is this gonna be a good thing or a bad thing? You know what I mean? All the craziest shit was coming to my mind. Why you fuckers want? We're in jail, man. What the fuck you want to tie me up for? Eh? You know, it's never a good idea when a bunch of guys are just made up that they're gonna tie you up, right? What the fuck you think that is, man? You know, a lot of crazy stuff will come to your head. You think, oh, they're tying you up so that they can rape you or some shit, or tying you so that they can kill you, murder you, or whatever like that. But it's a way for them to show you that we're gonna, you know, I think initiation is like a trust thing to say, look, if we wanted to harm you, we could have harmed you or whatever, do whatever I wanted to do with you. But we're not. We're just trying to show you that we'll see you as one of us, right? So basically, yeah, so they tied me up, they left me there for 1 hour or 1.5 hours or 2 hours before count time, before the deputies started coming through to make sure everybody's still alive. So now when they unleashed me, the second in command, now the second in command, he's the most aggressive one. The first in command, yes, is big, it looks huge, you know what I mean, it looks very intimidating, but he's actually, you know, humble and calm and collected. The one that is crazy, that fights on a regular basis, that actually, the one that disciplines people, the one that fucking, the one that, you know what I mean, that's very hands-on, you know what I mean, that's always in the action, whatever it calls, the one that tells people what to do and all that stuff like that, right? He's actually the short one, right? That's the one that was of my size, that's big. That's the one that's not coming out, no, never. You know, he's in there for murder. He's a Peru Crip. Sorry, he's a Peru blood from Compton, right? So, okay, now after that, they untie me. He gives them a command. He say, untie him. The boys, they untie me. He gets it. They untie me. He goes into under his bunk. He brings out a couple of soup. He gives to me. He gives me the soup, and then he goes into to go take a shower, and then that was that story. Then that was how I became a part of their clique while I was there. Before the deputies, one Persian deputy, I think he was from Iran. He saw me one day. No, he was on duty one day, and he called me. Because he's seen a couple of the guys, right? A couple of the guys in there shouted across on the other side of the bunker section. You know what I mean? Say, oh yeah, London, he's super strong. That's what they were calling me. London, he's super strong. He's super strong. You know what I mean? They say, oh, London is super strong. Blah blah blah. You know, given. And he heard all that commotion, so he called me. He asked me, say, you really don't want to be. You really don't want to be here. He asked me that he's going to try to move me out because he saw that I was just going to be getting into a lot more problems and stuff like that. That's what he think. And then before you know it, like a week later, I was moved. And yeah, that was how I became blood in the county jail in Southside. Hey guys, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, more videos, and also check out for the videos. Let's check out for the next video that I'm gonna post, how I became a shot caller in Los Angeles County Jail, how the name London became to be known as the boss. Alright guys, until next time, bye bye.